by giving me an outline of The Sway, what the band does, what type of music you do.
There's 5 of us, there's us 2, then there's Keane Smith, Harry Robertson and Sean Knibb, who play singing, writing, guitar, drums and bass respectively. But we're just sort of like, I don't know, I think with us there's a range with what we're up to, so there's not like a set sound or a set like way you can describe what we're trying to do, because we just sort of play what we like, and then it moulds, and with the being 3 of us who write and sing, me and Aidan and then Kieran as well, there's different sort of voices coming into it, and you know what I mean? It's all a group effort, like.
Yeah, and how did the band start? How did that sort of come about? You're all sort of meeting up and decided to give the band a go?
Yeah, we're all mates since we're very young, to be honest. So some of them started the band a couple of years ago from college and whatnot, and then I jumped on not long later, and so was our bass player Sean. And yeah, so that's just our nights out now. Lots of gigs, loads of cracking.
Yeah,
song recording.
It's a bit funny with Kieran, like, because Harry's brother was in a band, so me and Harry go and watch them, and we'd be like, we can do that. And obviously we couldn't, because we hadn't had a go yet, you know what I mean? And then Kieran, we got into him on like a summer break after in between school years, and then we sort of said we were going to start this band. Do you play guitar? And he said that he did, but he didn't. He never played guitar, like, so we learned how to play guitar to be in this band. And then we needed a bass player, so it was like, oh, what are we going to do? And it was just around the houses, and then we ended up with the lovely Sean Knibb. And then Aidan, sort of, we've always like jammed growing up and that, but he's always been quite busy, so it took him a while to sort of say he was going to jump on, and then here we are now.
We are all self-taught in what we play, to be fair.
Yeah.
I never done piano before joining The Sway. Same with everyone else, I think. Yeah.
And yeah, I remember originally tweeting about you, and I got it from another article which said you were formed at a house in Anfield, but you said that was incorrect, didn't you?
Oh, we used to go and practice in the Lighthouse, which is a posh community centre for young people. It's just on St Domingo Vale. It's just far from the ground.
Yeah.
But they used to let us go in and use the music equipment, because we didn't sort of have music equipment or a space to play in, and they used to let us go there and use it. And that's where we sort of first got into like playing together and playing as a band, and you know what I mean? It's a very important part of like anything we've done is down to the Lighthouse, like, in Anfield, definitely. But it's just not one of our, we don't live there, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And obviously you performed on the waterfront recently, on the pier head, such an iconic location, being a sports act for Jamie Webster. How great was that moment, just sort of being there, and what was sort of going through your mind sort of during that?
Just try and enjoy every bit of it, take it in. From our perspective, we had the lava building on the left, the Mersey on the right, and then a load of people who were there for a nice time in front of us. It's just like, just try and take it in and do the best we can do and enjoy it. And then in terms of it, Jay, like, it's like, I think sort of we've known him for a few years, and that I used to glassy in the pub that he'd perform in a while ago, and it was Sean, our bass player. His dad used to run it, and that's where Jay used to play years ago. So to see him, how far he's come and what he's doing, that was a big buzz for us. And then obviously to be there ourselves was amazing, you know what I mean? Really, like,
they're the biggest gigs in the city right now. To be a part of it's just
it's just like,
it's fucking great, yeah.
You just feel like you're in like some like kids' like imagination of playing Rockstar, you know what I mean? There with your shades on the waterfront and that. Excuse me, it's very good.
Yeah, and obviously they're sort of looking obviously at the performance then, comparing to when you first started at the Lighthouse, and you were sort of all doing it very sort of, you just sort of with your mates and trying to make something of it. How do you sort of look back on your journey so far? You must feel like incredible looking back on how it's all went since then.
It's been dead fun, but I don't feel like we're in a position to look back yet. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we're in a position to try and build on it and move forward and try and, you know, enjoy it to an higher extent and make sure the gigs that we put on are proper gigs for people. And do you know what I mean? I don't think we're in a position to look back yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, at the same time, it's looking back on when we were kids and that, it's good to feel like a real band now. Like we can just walk into a room and within 5 seconds be playing a half decent tune together.
Yeah,
which is the funnest thing in the world. We hope.
Yeah, we hope.
Either way, it's the funnest thing in the world, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's nice to be able to do that and all just be in tune and in time.
Yeah.
And for people to have listened to it as well. Found a nice little response off plenty of the gigs this year and plenty of the music we put online. So it's amazing, mate. Yeah, to be honest. But yeah, we want to go a lot further at the same time. I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's nice, like where early doors, that fear you've got of like something's gonna go wrong here. I don't know what it is, but there's something's gonna go wrong here. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to not have that really. Do you know what I mean? In terms of looking back, but as I say, like we've got some stuff this year to look forward to. Like we've got 2 tunes out on this EP, 2 more to come, and then a big gig in September, the 30th of September in Hangar 34 that we're trying to shift a few tickets for. So
700.
If you know anyone who's looking for a gig, it's only a tenner.
It's a big gig. That for us, it's our biggest headline we've done yet.
Want to make sure we do it properly.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's a good way to think, isn't it? Because there's always a danger, like you're performing on that such a big stage, although you're not the sort of headline act, but you're performing on that bigger stage, such an iconic location in your home city, that there is that. Some people might feel that temptation to go, "Oh, we've cracked it here," but it seems that the attitude of the band is that's just a start. We want to go further. We want to do more. But that phone's on the pier edge. You don't want that to be sort of like the last act. You want to do even more than that, don't you?
Yeah, it's like a proper honour to be, put on them gigs and they're made up. But they're not our gigs, are they? You know what I mean? So it's like it's a double-sided coin in it, where it's an unbelievable experience and boss, but you want to eventually get somewhere where you can, you know what I mean, get that situation going yourself, don't you? That's what I mean. Whether it will or not, see what goes on. All you can do is try, innit?
Yeah, and what are the sort of challenges you've faced sort of so far, and maybe you're still facing? Obviously, you're a sort of smaller band. You came from like a very sort of normal background. There's challenges like trying to get into venues and smaller venues closing. What have been the main sort of challenges you've faced so far, and maybe you're still facing in your musical career?
It's like that sort of branching out. Do you know what I mean? It's like anything. If you're trying to, I think a lot of people, if they see something going well, they'll jump on it and get into it. But it's hard to breach over that space of like being out there, alright then, so like, oh yeah, we should go and see them, or like say gigs outside of Liverpool, and like trying to build like a bit of a, it's weird to look at it like a business, but it is a business, you know what I mean? To some extent, like, you've got to try and build like a brand on that, but that's not really how we work. We just try and make music and try and enjoy it, and that. So I think that's a bit of a challenge, trying to like translate what we're into and what we're about into like a viable, like something you can keep doing, you know what I mean?
But obviously, sort of in that, you've been on tours. You've been on tours with Jamie before and others sort of around the UK. That they must have, when you sort of get artists like that willing to sort of, lend you a favour and like give you this opportunities to go on tours. That must be really special for you.
Yeah, it's boss. It's because you always know it's like you're going to do what like your favourite thing with your mates. Do you know what I mean? It's just like obviously the lovely venues that we've got to play, like the Institute in Birmingham's a lovely old building, you know what I mean? All stuff like that. You get to see these places and see like the back bits, and you know what I mean? It's all good fun. You're doing it with your best mates and doing your favourite things, so it is heavy, like, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the out of town gigs are especially good, like really grateful for them. Done some things never thought we'd do, like, so.
It's always a laugh in the van. You think like, oh, it's a 6 hours drive, it's going to be moody this, but it's always funny.
Yeah, are there any particular stories that you can tell me about while you've been on tour?
Oh, there was 5 of us in this car and it was like a rented car on the way down to Brighton, and it's miles away. And it's this Great Escape Fezzy, and it was like if you'd never been on it. So we were in this rented car, all tightly packed in like sardines like that, to like the other end of the country, and then we get there and like the gig's smaller than a cracky room, you know what I mean? It's like a proper little room, like. But it was the day Liverpool won the FA Cup final, though, so we weren't too upset, you know what I mean, by the end of the night, like.
Brighton was boss as well.
Yeah, Brighton's a lovely town.
First time we've all been there.
Yeah, and you're right, it's that challenge, because obviously I can see there you've got Great Beatles t-shirt on there. When I listen to your songs, I can very much tell it's I can very much tell it's sort of Scouse band. It feels very much like sort of Lars and other sort of similar bands like that. But yeah, it's a challenge to sort of like do your own thing while also you want to be inspired by obviously your favourite artists, but you also want to do something original, don't you, and something that stands out and can appear as a sort of broader appeal.
I think like eventually things like if you feel like you've got something to say, eventually you'll find the right way to say it. You know what I mean? If you keep cracking at the egg, you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. And do you have sort of themes that sort of come through in your music, stuff that often comes up, stuff that you always end up sort of referring to?
I don't know, a lot of our early songs were just about it's pretty everyday life growing up and where we live and the people you meet along the way. A lot to do with relationships and yeah.
I think like where there's three of us, there's like different. Do you know what I mean? Like I think sort we've got like there's different flavours of what's going on. Like say like Aid will write like a more like sort of like a relationship type song, and then I could write one as well. But they could look like an apple or an orange. You know what I mean? It'd be different things, but they're both about a relationship. You know what I mean? But then like you'd write something about like I don't know, just it depends what catches you, doesn't it? I don't feel like any of us have ever sat down and tried to write a song about something. You end up just is what it is, and then you know I don't think they're ever really finished either. You know what I mean? You're always sort of chipping away and like trying to noodle with it, see where you can get to.
Yeah, trying to capture the moments, aren't you?
Yeah.
And musically and lyrically.
Just trying to make it not shit as well. Whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you mentioned earlier like about the sort of state of Liverpool's sort of local music scene. Do you think it's in a good way that we're seeing a lot of emerging sort of talent like yourself being given not only obviously the quality of them, but they're also being given the chance to shine with stuff like On the Waterfront?
The main thing is the way they all look out for each other, to be honest. If you go to any slightly known gig in Liverpool, you'll probably find loads of other bands just making an appearance just to support each other, you know, buying a ticket and turning up.
Yeah, it's a proper culture like togetherness. Like a while ago, like anything to say if like someone puts out, oh we need this or something, we're stuck in a spot, we need out this. You know for a fact someone else is going to jump on. If everyone's going to like make sure each other does as best that they can. You know what I mean? If you can help someone in a way, you're going to. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's like that. So.
Well, last year we were on tour, maybe the year before, we were on tour with Jamie Webster for his We Get By tour, and on the way home from the London gig, I weren't even in the van. They stopped at the services for 5 minutes and he came back and all the gear had been stolen.
Yeah.
All the instruments, amps. We were left about 1 or 2 times maybe. But,
by the Mercedes and Milton Keynes. So all the stuff got off. And then, so we didn't know what to do, because we were meant to be playing the Olympia with Jay, like a couple of days after.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was one of them, we didn't know what to do type thing. And Kieran and Nib, I had the idea of doing like a fundraiser and that. And then we ended up with new gear, you know, the brilliance of anyone who sort of like, she's like a group of lads who want to crack on and, you know, try and do something and really just blown away by generosity and all that.
People we knew and people we didn't know as well, all around the country.
Really brilliant. Just like, it's, you know what I mean? And that's the best way I think you can describe how it feels, like an analogy in a street, what happened, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it feels to be like in a band in Liverpool.
Such a short time as well. Like, it weren't just the Caros who were quick to text us in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So many people saying you need this, you've got it.
Yeah.
And over £5,000 had been raised.
Yeah.
In a day we had to switch it off and it was like the sport's just unreal.
Proper common goal, all about looking after each other and getting into it and all that. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's amazing, isn't it? It just shows you must have been like, when you saw the van and it was mostly empty, you must have been like absolutely devastated. So getting like that relief and everyone being so willing to help out must have been such a relief for you both.
Proper, like, it was like one of them where you think at times you like it. It's like, this is lovely, but do we even like deserve this? Like, you know what I mean? We need to, like, so we just made sure since that point everything we were doing, putting 110 into it. You know what I mean? Like, try and do everything properly, and there's like
there was a bit of a pressure from that moment. We really turned the notch somewhere.
No, it's good. It's like your responsibility, isn't it? And it's one of them. If someone's went out the way to sort of look out for you and that, then it's your responsibility to do what you're doing as best you can and do it properly. That's what we're trying to do.
And yeah, just thinking back to your roots, obviously the band sort of started in school, properly formed at like a community centre. Do you think your story is an example of like sort of how important sort of like just simple things of like being friendly with people, having sort of access to sort of smaller spaces can be in sort of growing a band and sort of making a success of it?
I think spaces in the community is an absolute essential part of any sort of creative outlet, and the more of them, the better. And the Lighthouse it's like a youth centre, but they've got that the presence of musical gear, so there is that thing where you can reach out and try and be creative, and that's brilliant. And you've got the likes of the Florrie. There's loads, there's not enough of them, but the ones that are there are brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Those community spaces, and I think that's an essential thing, mate, definitely. Yeah, so if you're listening or watching, we're on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of it. Get on it, give it a Google, give it a look, see what you reckon.
30th of September was a big night for us this year.
Yeah,
anyone in the field can make it.
Only a tenner the ticket.
And that's a Hangar 34, yeah?
It is, yeah.
Nice one.
It's like